So, you finally made it into Regnus, starting off your journey as your new anime protagonist, and you want to know a cool beginner's guide on what to look forward to in the game, as well as all the things that go on in it, and how to progress your character through the early game. Well, here's going to be the video for you. Yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy PK, and welcome back to another Blue Protocol Star Resonance video. Again, we're going to be going over a nice beginner guide for you guys, going over all the things that you need to know in the game, as well as how to progress your character in this early game. And of course, knowing all of the features that you should be aware of when it comes to this game, since there is going to be a lot of things to talk about. Probably won't be able to get through all of it today in this video, but of course I'll go over the basics, as well as what I think is most important for you to be focusing on, so that you can start your journey off right. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that you'll be doing once you jump straight in is going to create your own character. There's a fair amount of character customization options that you have at your disposal, so choose wisely or whatever you see fit. You have things like hairstyles, to your face, to beauty marks, and then your overall body proportions. But a thing to note is once you have created your character and say you're in game, you do have the option to go back into the beauty parlor to change up how you look, although some things, say like for hairstyles, will take certain vouchers if you're trying to change them, so do be cautious of that. And then for other things that don't take vouchers, say for like the beauty marks, they will use these items called visage reforgers. So again, there's a bunch of different ways that you can go about customizing your character, and once you're actually in game, you can re-edit them how you see fit. You also have the option to just overall create another character, since multiple accounts can be had on the same one, so choose what you want to do once again. After you've created your character, the next thing you'll be prompted with is of course choosing your class. Now, I already have a dedicated video going over just the basic overview for all the classes, so I won't go over them in this video. But as you can see here, you have a fair amount of options from your DPS classes to your healing classes, and then finally your tank classes. And don't forget that within each given class you do have, as you can see at the top up here, 2 individual talent speculations or talent specs that you can choose from once you've reached a certain point within your talent tree. We'll go over that in the progression part of this video. Basically, all you have to worry about is that whichever given spec that you choose will drastically change how your class plays overall, so again, choose wisely. And then for any of you guys that may not really like your class at the start that you chose, or you just might prefer a different class after seeing the gameplay, you do have the option for any given character that you make to go back to the class selection page right here and click the unlock button on any given class. And doing so will give you the option to get a new class quest in order to get the job change to become that class. All you need to do is prepare, like it says right here, the Hero's Radiance, which is an item that you need in order to complete this quest. And then go over to Milia right here. You'll talk to her. She'll ask if you brought the Hero's Radiance, and if you have the item, you can submit it and then continue with that class quest change in order to unlock the class. Now, for the first time, you will get a quest that actually offers you a Hero's Radiance, so you can do the first time for free. Then after that, you will need to go and get this item from the orb store, and it has a cost of 680 bound gems. So again, be cautious of that if you do want to go for the job change. I ultimately wouldn't recommend doing it often or a lot, because since you do have to worry about your progression resources when it comes to upgrading your character and their class, you don't want to try to split yourself too short into various classes. But again, if you're at a position where you really just want to change your class, you're not really rocking the one that you originally picked, or if you're at a point where you've already reached the quote-unquote end game for the various patch and you have nothing that you need to really focus on for your class, you just want to try out something new, then you do have the option to either get that first Hero's Radiance, like I said, from the quest itself, or go into the shop here and buy it in order to do the job change. Now that we finished off the beginning part of your journey, which is creating your character, getting your class, and figuring out all of that, the next thing you're going to be focusing on is going into your character and actually getting some upgrades going for progression. Now, you have things like your ability score to your adventure level, and then of course your various class things like the class itself, the talent spec once you've reached that point, your skills, gear, modules once you unlock those, and all that good stuff. Now we'll start with the most basic, which is going to be your adventure level. Increasing your adventure level will give you some good items and goodies like talent points that will help you for your talent tree, various resources for class progression, and just items to help you in-game. And then the biggest thing, at least to me, outside of that stuff, is of course that the more that you level up in this game, the more that you will unlock in your movement's potential, like getting more jumps, getting more abilities like dashing, flying, wall running, and all that stuff. Now focusing in on your actual character and what they can do, first thing is going to be looking at your skills. Now skills are a very important thing to level up in this game, and they do take a very finite resource, so you ultimately want to choose how you upgrade them wisely. You have two ways to upgrade them. As you see right here, you have the option to do upgrades, and you have the option to do advancements. To keep it short and sweet, all you really need to think about is your upgrades are just pretty much leveling up your skills to the various levels that you can get them to. These are also time gated, of course, with progression, so at a various given point in the game, you can only upgrade them so much. And the most important one is going to be your advancing. Upgrading only takes the Luna, which is the in-game currency or money, but advancing takes the talent skill books for your various class, so for mine, Stormblade Advanced books. And again, these are a finite resource. There's only a couple of ways to get them in-game outside of the actual shops, that you can just straight up buy them with orbs or any given currency within a given shop. So again, choose wisely on how you want to upgrade your skills. Realistically, you should look up a guide on what skills you should focus on, and I wouldn't say to really advance any skills until you at least have unlocked your specific talent spec, so that you know exactly what skills you'll be bringing into your class and what you'll be focusing on for the majority of the game. Next up, we have the Battle Imagines, which are just extra slottable skills that you can have within your skill set. As you can see right here, the Battle Imagines come down here, giving you various different skills and passives. You do have the option to get free chests from your day 2 and day 6 logins from the handbook in order to choose any given of the 3 from the selection. And of course you get a free one just from playing the game, which is the Void Ogre. Outside of that, you can get them from the dreaded gacha, of course, or just from getting lucky and getting them from boss mob drops, like the wills that you can get in order to craft them. But don't worry about the gacha side of things. Even if you were to hardcore spend, or if anyone was to, you ultimately would just get the will, which is only a part of what you need to actually craft the full Battle Imagine, and it takes a whole lot more resources than that. So even if you were a whale and you did get all of the wills, you would still need all of the extra crafting resources in order to actually craft and get the full Battle Imagine. But outside of that, you will have the free options, and also you can just, again, farm mobs in the open world in order to get more of their wills to eventually craft them. Now, when it comes to the talent tree, you have the option towards the end of the first one to eventually choose a class spec, like I said, to then start going into the specific class specs ability tree and start unlocking more passives for skills or just your character, and overall more bonuses and stat boosts. First tree will be self-explanatory. You'll realistically just want to build this entire thing out, and you need to in order to even get to the second part of the tree. So choose what you want. At this first patch of the game, I think we will only get up to 70 talent points total from all the things that we can do in the game. And right now you can see I'm at 46. And the various ways to get talent points is 2 ways. You can either do the trial paths, which will be a game mode where you can do the various trial missions for your given class, or you can do all of them if you're playing multiple classes in order to get talent points for that class. Outside of that, you can do the Irona quest, here like the talent training, which will also be level gated, of course, but once you do reach that level threshold, you will be able to eliminate 50 of a given mob in order to complete the quest, get more talent points. And the good thing when it comes to the talent tree is the fact that you are able to, at any given point, reset the class, and it's completely for free, so you don't need to worry about making any mistakes or losing out on resources. You can just instantly reset it like this and start all over. You can also do auto activate, which will automatically put the talent points somewhere into the tree for you if you're not sure on how to build it, or if you're not using any guides. So you do have the option to, of course, reset and start over if you want to. And then outside of all of that stuff that comes with your character, you will have the thing to focus on the most, which is your ability score. Upgrading your ability score is very important in this game, as it does stop you from doing certain content if you're not at a recommended gear score, so getting it up as high as possible will always be recommended. But again, focusing on your gear score or ability score will be the best way on how you can unlock more content options for you to do, like the harder modes of dungeons, or even just various dungeons once we unlock more in the game. And then again, you can see right here how you can go about building up that score. You have your talents that boost it, your skill training that boost it, so helping out with your skills and battle imagines. And then your overall gear will be the highest point on how you can do this. And then other things like emblems and modules once we unlock those. Now, of course, there's more than just those various things for your character, such as gear that we'll talk more about. But I want to go over first on actually how to progress your character when it comes to levels, since again, that is going to be very important, and it will tie into your gear as well. Now, when it comes to your character's level, the best way to go about upgrading your level as quickly as possible, and realistically the only way to go about it, is of course doing all of the various quests that you have active to you that offer character EXP. You have 4 different categories that will offer you character EXP from given quest. The biggest one will be, of course, your main quest. Doing the main quest each given day, since it is gated by server days, will offer you the biggest amount of character EXP and level you up the quickest. Outside of that, you do have things like guide quests that will also give you character EXP, like your talent training and various things like that. You will have various amounts that you can do each given day, and if you're starting off, say today, which is day 6 in the game, you already have all of the ones from server day launch, so day 1 all the way to day 6 that you can do in order to quickly catch up with that character EXP. Outside of that, you will have options with the world quest and region quest to get even more character EXP, as well as unlocking various things. So, in my opinion, in order to level up the quickest, you want to do essentially all the quests that you have available to you: main quest, guide and side quest, world quest, and region quest, in order to get all of the character EXP that you can to reach the level thresholds. Now, reaching level thresholds aren't very important in this game, because like I said, it does tie to your overall eventual level and what you can get with it, like the various items that you can get, as well as your character's movement. But it also does tie into your gear, as various gear slots in the game will be tied to character level, so you won't be able to unlock all of your gear until you reach those certain levels. The highest will be the charm, which will be at a level 35 cap, so do keep that in mind when it comes to gearing. Now that we finished up with how you can level up your character, let's of course go over the main bread, which is actually building up your character's progression and getting higher ability scores. With that, we of course want to focus on your character's gear. Now when it comes to your character's gear, it can offer your character certain ability stats that you really will want. For each class, you will have a main stat that your character focuses on. For Stormblade, it will be agility. And then for your various talent spec that you choose, you'll have 2 additional stats that you want to focus on, for mine being haste and luck. Of course, it will depend on the overall class and the talent spec that you choose on what those certain stats will be for you. But as you can see, there is an indicator with the thumbs up icon here that will tell you which stats you do want to focus on, which will overall help you when it comes to gearing and the stats you want to focus. There are various ways to go about getting gear in this game, such as doing the gear dungeons themselves, which will unlock at each given day, but at a certain point they will all be fully unlocked. And just overall, if you're lucky, you can do some open world mob farming on boss mobs in order for them to have a certain rarity chance to drop gear for you. Now, outside of those options when it comes to obtaining gear, you do have Harvey, which is an artisan in the Artisan Guild Shop, which can allow you to get other pieces of gear based on where you're at in the game. Right now, for us, we have epic gear at level 40, and it does take this item called alloy shards that you can get either from doing various tasks in the game that offer it as a reward from the quest, or even just dismantling old pieces of gear that you don't need, realistically epic and higher, in order to get these alloy shards too. But once you do have those shards, you can just click on any given item that you want to select from it, the weapon usually being the highest at 40, and then the other items being at 20, and just hit exchange. Again, if you're looking just for extra pieces of epic gear, you do have the option here from Harvey to get them, and you can also do it for realistically any other class too if you are playing multiple. You can use this gear exchange whenever you're really looking to fill out your gear and get better pieces, or if you just don't want to worry about grinding too much of dungeon, or you don't have the time to and you have the extra shards, you can just get various pieces again to help you out. And now the biggest part when it comes to your gear progression is of course the progression itself. Now, you have various different ways to go about upgrading your gear in this game. First one being the reforgement. Reforging is essentially just leveling, right? It takes your reforged stones as the material for it, Again, at various different levels of the gear, you'll have various different reforged stones. But all you have to do is just hit the reforge button, and it will boost up your perfection rate, as well as give you a bonus stat here in the advanced stats that you can hopefully roll for to get another stat that you need. This stat will be random each time you roll it with reforgement, so do keep that in mind. Now, before we get into the next parts for how you can go about upgrading your gear, I do want to talk about dismantling because it is pretty important and some people don't actually know what it provides for you. Now, dismantling pieces of gear, if you hit the add all, it will offer all of the gear pieces that you have that are below epic gear in order to get some Luno. Say if you have a gear piece like this that you've already upgraded and have some reforgement into it, by dismantling it, you will get 100% of the reforgement materials you use back, so you really don't have to worry too much about upgrading your gear. Just upgrade what you have at the time, and once you get better pieces, you can simply just dismantle them and get the reforgement stones back in order to continue upgrading that new piece of gear that you got. The next part for your gear upgrading is going to be the refinement. Now, refinement is going to be like your tried and true success rate upgrading style of gear upgrades. It will take various mats for whichever given gear piece you're doing. For the first 3, it's going to be using the mystery metal mats. For the second 4, it will be using the radiant stone mats, and then for the last 4, it will be using the fine forge stone mats. Again, you can do these at levels, and as you can see, the success rate is still at 100% since we're barely starting to get into refinements and we're only at level 3, which is also going to be time gated here, as you can see. But again, as long as you have the mats as well as the Starforged crystal, which will be needed for every time you do reforgements, and then of course the Luno, you can go about upgrading with the refinements and getting more stat boosts like attack, refined armor, endurance, and various other things. Now, I can't show you since we're not at the point in the game where, again, we're not at a success rate that's lower than 100. But once we do reach that point and you want to ensure that your success rate is high or at 100, you can use blessing materials, which will allow you to increase the percentage of the success rate for refinement. You can get those materials from various shops in the game, as well as other ways in the game. And then finally, for the last part for your gear progression is going to be gear embedding. This is just an easy way to get extra enhancement effects onto your gear. Will take gems that you will be able to either craft using the gem crafting life skill. But again, these are just good ways to get some more enhancement effects and better attributes onto your gear in order to boost up your character's talent spec progression. And the thing to note when it comes to embedding your gear is, unlike with reforgement where dismantling it will give you back the reforged stones, dismantling gear that has gems on it will not give you the gems back, so you will have to craft new gems once you have a new piece. And since I briefly mentioned them in the gear progression portion, I'll just go ahead and talk about them right now. And that's going to be, of course, the life skills. Life skills in this game are essentially just extra skills that you can learn for your character in order to do the basic necessity things that will help you out in game, or if you're just someone who wants to focus on life skills and only do that as opposed to the combat in this game, you have the option to do that as well. Although there are caps when it comes to using the overall focus, which will be what you want to do to get various mats from life skilling. All you have to do when it comes to life skilling to unlock any of them is going into the life skill page when it prompts you to, clicking unlock on all of them or just the ones that you want to do, and that will be all you need to do in order to unlock them. Now, each given life skill can be leveled up, as you can see here, by themselves, and within each given life skill you have various tabs that you can work off of, from the focus tab, which is going to be where you use your focus energy in order to get the various drops from doing life skills, your regular tab, which will give you different versions of the drops, just regular versions that you can use for various crafting outside of your main focus crafting. Going into the mastery tab will be where you want to unlock various skills within that given life skill in order to access more things and unlock them using a life skill talent point in order to now have the access to use the focus energy to start getting those mats. And then the last tab you have within each given life skill is the rewards tab. By leveling up certain level thresholds, you can get various resources like rose orbs to even some cosmetics, and as well as a badge showing that you have fully mastered the class. Now again, when it comes to life skills, this is something that is optional, you don't have to do, but I will say, regardless of the kind of player that you are, either free to play or a spender, doing life skills, or at least certain ones, will definitely help you out when it comes to your character's progression. For example, definitely in the early game you want to focus on the life skill mineralogy, gemology, gem crafting, as well as smelting. The reason why is because doing these will offer you things that you can help with character progression, such as doing mineralogy. You can get the ores that you need necessary for smelting, which, as you can see right here, these 3 resources will be all the ones that you want to use when it comes to gear refinement. So doing those 2 in tangent will allow you to get more resources in order to get more gear refinement going. Ones like gemology and gem crafting. Gemology will give you, of course, the option to do focus energy to get the various ores that you need to create your gems, and then going into gem crafting will give you the ability, once leveled, to then start crafting those actual gems that you can place into your gear with the embed process. So again, there's various life skills that will help you out, and of course other things like botany, culinary, alchemy can all tie in together with creating various battle items in the game like potions, healing effects, and various things that can help with content. And overall, when it comes to your actual life skill focus energy, you will get 400 each daily reset, so you want to make sure that you're not, again, getting fully capped at the 2000 cap. And another cool thing that the life skill won't tell you about, although you do need a high level to actually achieve doing this, is the fact that certain life skills, say for like artisanry, can provide you in the regular tab once you get to a certain level in order to actually start crafting legendary and even epic pieces of gear. Of course, it will require mats for you to do it, so make sure that you have those mats if you're trying to level up those certain life skills. But again, each given life skill, or at least the ones that it apply to in the regular tab, will have options for you to do some gear crafting for various classes. Each life skill that it applies to will be different. So again, if you're looking to be a life skill master and you want to craft even your own pieces of gear, you do have the option to do so at high levels. Let's look about how you're going to be going about your daily and weekly play. First is going to be, of course, your dailies and weeklies that you can do in the game to get extra rewards and progress certain things. Now the first one is going to be, of course, the season pass, which is like essentially a battle pass that you can do, but it also offers daily and weekly missions that you can unlock to get various rewards once you complete them. With the season pass, you will also be able to get the freebies at the top row right here every time that you're getting a level upgrade in them, so keep that in mind. And of course, if you do buy the advanced version, you can get extra resources as well as the freebies that it provides, like the skin. You also have this right here called the season title, which you can upgrade by doing various achievements within your season pass right here. After doing those, at a certain point, you will be able to upgrade it, and once you've reached a certain point in the tracker, you can get various things like these rewards up here in the tiers, as well as other things like rose orbs and some freebies when it comes to customization, so you have that option as well for some free resources. And then you also have an option to do things called bureau commissions in this game, which are extra dailies that you can do. They're not unlocked yet, so I can't show you in game, but I'll put a picture on screen for you. There's various dailies that are easy to complete within minutes, such as certain things like defeating monsters, doing various challenges, to even doing stuff like puzzles. Now, outside of those couple of things, you do also have options once you go into the features in the settings to do some more daily and weekly tasks, such as your daily dungeons, like unstable space, which will be different each given day for a different monster that it provides. Then you have your boss hunts to your elite hunts, which are things that you can use various keys for. When you go into the monster hunt area of the game, you will see that with the elite mobs as well as the boss mobs, you do have various keys: elite loot key for the elite mobs and boss loot keys for the boss mobs that you can use on any given boss that you want to farm in order to get the rewards that it can drop. Of course, it will all be randomized, so you can ultimately get lucky, but this is something that you want to do every day, or at least every couple of days, as the max cap for these keys for each of them is 6. And again, when it comes to these mobs, especially boss mobs, they do offer extra drops that you can get outside of the rewards that you use for the keys in order to get various things. Obviously, the higher level that you go up with, you can get better things like legendary pieces of gear. You can also have dailies within a guild if you have joined one, like the guild cargo and the guild check-in, which will just give you some extra freebie rewards by completing them. For your weeklies, you have things like the Chaotic Realm, which is the various gear dungeons that you can do in this game once they fully unlock. And they can offer various things for your gear pieces based on the dungeons. Outside of gear dungeons, you can do stimmen vaults, which are like tower floors that you can complete. That will give you some mats that are helpful for battle imagine crafting. Then you also have the World Boss Crusade, which is a big 20-man raid essentially that can give you some extra rewards and goodies like bound orbs and these reputations that you can use in a reputation shop. Then you also get more rewards by completing certain rewards parts right here. You have extra guild things that you can do, like guild activities, guild hunts, and the guild dance. Again, all offering various rewards based on what it is. If you are someone that does have the extra time after grinding, or if you just want to sit back and relax and do something on auto while you're either getting some food, watching TV, or whatever you feel, you do have the leisure activities that you can do that open up at given days and certain times within that day, such as like the street theater, city patrol, camp patrol, the dance novice, and various things like that. All you have to do for these leisure activities is simply go to the designated area. You can figure that out by clicking go when it's available. It will tell you where to go, and once you're in that area, you will see that there is a bar, just like this one on the left side of the screen, that will tell you that you are indeed in the area and that your score will go up over a certain amount of time just by being there and doing various things, either like dancing, staying in the area, fighting mobs. Realistically, just staying in the area is more than enough, but again, if you want to do this on auto, you're more than able to get some extra rewards. They do offer a chance at getting some certain rare items. For example, the Street Theater does have a chance to give you a legendary chess piece. So although it is random and it is going to be realistically a low probability, you do have the chance to get some legendary gear just from doing these leisure activities. When you're back into the Pioneer Hall, you can go to Stella right here, and she'll offer you some Pioneer rewards based on doing various things in the game, and this will reset weekly. I've already got mine for the week, so I can't show you, but as you can see right here, clearing Chaotic Realm a couple of times, defeating boss monsters or elite monsters a couple of times, even using focus energy from life skilling will all offer you chances at getting some extra things and goodies. So now that we've gotten through most of the basic things that you can look forward to in terms of your daily and weekly play, as well as how you're going to go about your character progression, let's look at something that can also help you with your character progression if you choose to do so, as it's not mandatory, but it is something helpful if you are a player that sees fit. And what I'm talking about is going to be, of course, the in-game store. Now again, this is going to be based on if you're just the kind of player that wants to get extra resources with the materials that you can get in here. It's ultimately not something that you have to do, but it is helpful for character progression if you want to help out with that. And again, since some of the resources are finite, it won't be too bad of an idea to use some of your bound rose orbs to get some of these things, but that's simply my opinion. Choose if it's something that's worth to you. And I'm not going to go too crazy into the shop because there's not too many things worth talking about outside of things that are really something you should look forward to as a free-to-play player. Now, going into the stores that I think are definitely ones that you should look out for, even as a free-to-play player, the first one's going to be the Mystery Store. Now, this will be reset daily, and it has some goodies that you can get. Now, I'll put on screen items that you should realistically look out for when it's in the Mystery Shop, that you should get if you are a player that is looking forward to get some more stuff for progression. But essentially, your Starforge crystals and your advancement books will be the top priority, as of course those do help with refinement and skill upgrades. And again, since they're finite resources, it doesn't hurt to use a little bit of rose orbs to get them, especially since in the mystery store there's a chance for them to be on sale. Like as you can see, some of these given items are as well. And outside of that, getting the mech shards, both the silver and gold, will be helpful for, again, once we get to the point in gear refinement where you do need to use them if you want to put up the success rate for your refinements. So getting those early on can also be helpful, but again, that's something that you need to see if it's worth for you, so keep that in mind. Now next up, we'll be looking at the colorful store, and the colorful store has a couple of options. The orb store is going to be definitely a pricey one that has a lot of stuff that you can get in it, but again, it's ultimately up to you if you see the need to get these things. I personally don't really use anything in this shop or see any need to get anything in this shop. Next is going to be the friendship store, which you can get various friendship points from doing things in game when you look to how to obtain them. By doing these activities, you'll get these points that you can use for various things, like, again, more coins, getting dye packs if you want to do some dyeing for your character, to even things like cosmetic stuff like nameplates, cosmetics, and again, even more emotes. Next up, we have a really good shop, in my opinion, especially if you're someone who is playing actively, which is going to be the Honor Coin Shop. Now, as you can see, the Honor Coin Shop does have a 10,000 coin weekly limit, but just by doing various things in the game, as you can see right here, various forms of content, you can get Honor Coins, which will allow you to get these goodies in here. In my opinion, you should realistically have enough coins if you're getting to the 10,000 cap every week to just outright buy the shop out. But if you're looking for things specifically to get, if you don't want to get them all, Of course, your best bet will be your Starforged crystals, your advancement skill books, and even your arcane seal books, as you can get more of these for your talent points. And then reforged stones as well if you're looking to get more upgrades in if you feel like you're not getting as much just from playing the game. I think this is once again a very good store to get some extra resources, and since you're getting these honor coins from just playing the game anyway, and since you get so much of them each week, there's really no point to not get at least those 4 things that I've gotten right here, as they will help you in your progression. And then we have the reputation store, which will be another store that you can use with the various reputation currency that you get from various things in game, which you can either use some extra goodies like some extra Luno, or even just cosmetics, 1 Will Wish coin that you can get weekly, to even things like revive candies and healing items in game. Again, you don't get too much of this unless you're doing the various content, so ultimately choose what you want. Now there's one more store that is going to be in the game, but since I can't show you, since I've been playing the game since day one, but that is going to be, of course, the Reclaim Hub. I'll put a picture on the screen. Essentially, anytime you miss any given day or even weeks of progression just from not playing, the Reclaim Hub will be available to you, and it will be a way that you can use the currency to get a head up on the progression that you've missed out on. And then the final thing that I'll show when it comes to the store will be that within the Season Pass itself, there is a Season Store that you can get even more goodies from by getting the Season Pass points just from playing the game and doing your dailies, when it comes to the Season Pass at least. And one more thing that I almost forgot to mention when it comes to the shops themselves is going to be, of course, the in-game trading center. This is the way that you can, as a player, trade various things in the game, whether you're doing it as life skills and just want to basically be your own shop master, or if you just have extra resources that you can't use for your given character that you want to sell, the trading center will be where you want to do it. Of course, not everything in the game is sellable, as some things are bound to your character, so you can only sell what is unbound. But if I go right here to sell, you can see I have some things that I could sell. For example, this marksman book. I'm not going to really be using it for my class since I'm not a marksman, so I might as well just go ahead and list it. All I have to do is just click on the item, put any given price that I want. We'll just put it back to around where it was, then just list. That's all it is. And then once someone buys it, you will get the money down here that you can withdraw. Of course, a certain fee will be taken out, but this is another easy way to get some extra Luno that you can use within the trading center itself. Then again, with the trading center, like in any MMO, some things will be priced high, some will be priced low, just based on the overall need for the item. As you can see, growth items, gear stuff, especially the Battle Imagine Wills and just Imagine items themselves, will be at very high prices, and you can only buy these things with the Luno that's not bound. So again, you will have to keep that in mind when it comes to the currency. This is another way that you as a player and other players as well can give some of your resources that you've been either getting a lot of through life skills or just extra things that you don't really want. And lastly, before this video gets too long, I do want to mention that there's one more big thing in this game that you do want to focus on, as it does have pretty good incentives for players by doing it. And that is, of course, joining a guild. If you're not already a part of a guild, again, my guild and my brother's guild, Heretics, is available for you guys in order to join. It's on auto application right now, so of course, if you're looking for a guild, go ahead and join. But joining a guild does have good incentives. Unfortunately, I don't have it unlocked, so I can't show you yet, since this is a fairly new guild. But there are weekly activities that you can do within the guild, like I mentioned earlier in the weekly section, to upgrade your guild, as well as getting various resources from these boxes. And when it comes to the guild itself, you can level it up to unlock the guild center early on, but once you have that, you can get a couple more points to unlock the biggest part, which is going to be the guild store. With this guild store, you can get various items that will help you with gameplay and progression. You can get various cosmetic tickets in there. You can get items like life skill pots, which will give you some more focus energy if you're someone who is trying to focus on life skills, and other various cool things like that. So again, there's a good reason to get to the guild store, and overall just getting into a guild. So of course, joining a guild will definitely be very helpful in certain aspects of the game, but overall just it's fun, so why not? And with that being said, everybody, that's going to do it for this beginner's guide. Again, there's going to be a lot of things in this game that I probably didn't cover, or at least not into full depth and detail, So if any of these given topics you want more detail on, definitely leave a comment down below and let me know. And also, if you feel like there's any tips that I didn't include here that you feel like is worth mentioning, of course leave those down in the comments as well, so we can all help out each other and any players that are coming new to this game. Even though, of course, we're almost hitting a week in this game, there will be constantly new players that are coming in and not knowing everything, so giving them more tips in the comments will just overall help out them in their journey. And then once again, guys, thank you so much for all the love and support that you guys have been showing the channel. Again, it means a lot to me, and doing this content has been a lot of fun. So of course, I would love to continue doing this for you guys as long as you guys are enjoying the content. And when it comes to my other games, I know I've been on BPSR for a while now when it comes to the content, but I will be doing some videos on them soon, so be on the lookout for those. I hope you guys enjoyed this beginner's guide video. Again, if you are looking for any more detailed information on any of these given things, let me know. We also have the online resources that I've shared plenty of times before and will pretty much always have in the description of my BPSR videos for you guys to check out if you want to learn anything more in depth or more in detail, or just get a better understanding from other players that have played the game. And with that, y'all, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.